Good morning. Oh, sorry. Oh. Very sorry. No headphones. Okay. I'm so absent-minded. I've got my water here, but yesterday I had a terrible coughing fit. So I've got water here. Yes, I'm feeling quite good today. Okay, we're talking about Whitstable. Oh, today is Wednesday, the 7th of March, 2012. Okay. Excuse me. I was telling you about Whitstable and my fishing experiences, and I think I should say that I don't think I was as foolhardy as I might appear to be, because I had visited Whitstable and talked to the fishermen there, and I met this man on the beach. He was I think his first name was Bob, the same name as mine, and he was using pots for whelks, and that's how I got interested in making my living from the sea. He was telling me how much money he made, which proved to be extremely exaggerated, because I think I ended up buying his pots and didn't do any good with them at all, and then sold them. I can remember that. That's what first got me involved in thinking that I would like to make a living from the sea. Before I bought the Glyn, my first fishing boat, I had been to Ramsgate, and I'd got talking to a skipper of quite a big trawler. His name was DOTT, and I asked if I could go with him for a day's fishing, you know, and he was a man of few words, and he agreed, and I did spend a day with him. It was a fantastic experience. I really enjoyed. It was hard work. He treated me as a skivvy. I was making cups of tea for him, and just doing little things that I could do. And the main thing on a fishing boat is to keep out of the way of the ropes and not get in the way of what's going on, and to watch and learn. But I did enjoy it, and that's what also encouraged me to make my decision to buy my first fishing boat. Okay, so although I wasn't experienced, having a father that had been in the Navy for 15 years didn't qualify me as an experienced seaman. But before moving to Whitstable, I had lived on the Isle of Sheppey from 1965 to 72, and I had bought a little dinghy, 11-foot dinghy called DINGY, which was a little sailing dinghy made out of polystyrene. And to cut a long story short, I entered the round Sheppey race and finished first. The reason being is that I was the only one who entered. No, that was a joke. I did in fact sail around the Isle of Sheppey. I started off from the beach at Laysdown. I lived at Warden Point, but there's no beach there, only mud. I started off from the Warden Bay. I sailed left towards Sheerness, yeah, towards Sheerness. I was aware that the tides were very strong around Sheerness, and I was aware of that, so I timed my arrival at Sheerness at, I can't remember, I used to know a lot about these things. The tide is neither ebbing nor flowing, but it's for about maybe half an hour or so, there's very little movement in the water at all. There's no current. So I timed my arrival at Sheerness so that I didn't, because I had an outboard motor with me. I had oars. I had a collie, sheepdog, black, which I don't remember her name, and went round Sheerness. I then entered the Swale, which is which goes round the side of the Isle of Sheppey, underneath Kingsbury Bridge. I didn't use the sail. In fact, during the entire time that I had that boat, I never ever had the confidence to put the sail up, because I thought to myself, because I had a life jacket, but I thought to myself, if I capsize, I wasn't confident that I could ever right the boat again. So I had the boat, I don't know how long, a year or so. I never used the sail. I used the outboard motor. I had oars, and I had a life jacket, I had flares, I had anchors. All the safety equipment I doubled up on. I had great respect for the sea, and also I had a fear, and I had, during my fishing time in Whitstable as well, I'd often had the nightmare of being trapped in a boat or drowning. So that's true. But anyway, went round the Swale underneath the Kingsbury Bridge, and then I decided to camp somewhere around Hearty Ferry. Had a tent with me. Yes, I had a tent. We camped in the field, and it's very muddy there. The next morning I had to, oh yeah, I had the boat fairly high up at high tide, but in the morning when I went to put the boat back in the water, I was about 20 metres from the water. The tide was out, and I wanted to get the boat into the water, so I turned the boat round, got into the boat, and threw the anchor into the mud as far as I could, and then pulled, and gradually worked my way down to the water's edge. Yeah, yeah. During the night camping there, a herd of cows had become very curious about my tent, and luckily they didn't trample me, but it was quite a hairy moment, because I had the dog with me as well. But anyway, we successfully completed the course around the Isle of Sheppey, the Swale, around Shellness, which is the point, Shellness, around Laysdown, back to Warden Bay. Yeah, so it went without incident, really. What would have happened if my outboard motor had failed, I do not know. I think it was the Seagull. They're fairly reliable, but at that time I wasn't very experienced with how to fix motors, so I guess I was lucky again. If the outboard motor had failed when I was going through Sheerness, once the tide had turned, the current there is about 4 knots. You'd be carried out to sea very, very quickly, and you'd be lost. I would never have been found again. So I guess I was lucky the outboard motor didn't fail. And also I had done some trips from Queenborough. There was a creek at Queenborough, and there was a jetty where you could launch a boat. Oh yes, I'm beginning to remember a couple of other things as well, like the Isle of Sheppey. I went on a trip from Queenborough, and in the Medway, the estuary there's lots of islands, mud flats, little islands, all uninhabited, and you could easily get lost. And it became foggy, and I could not find my way back, so I drew my boat up to one of the little islands and spent the night there. I don't think I had a tent, or I just somehow I got through the night, and the next day when the fog lifted, I found my way back to Queenborough Harbour. When I got there, my trailer was there, and my wife had alerted the Coast Guard and the police because I'd been missing. I hadn't come home. I'd been away all night, and they'd seen my trailer and my car at Queenborough, and I don't think they'd sent a search. I don't know. Anyway, I did the right thing. In fog, you have to wait till it lifts, and then I found my way back okay. And I think she had alerted the police and Coast Guard, but I was safe. And the only other thing of interest that I can remember about that boat was I launched it once from a jetty near Sheerness. I had the boat on top of the roof rack, if I remember correctly, and I had the dog in the passenger seat, and I got out of the car to start to take the boat off the top of the car, the roof rack, and somehow the dog jumped out and somehow released the handbrake. Yeah, honestly. And the dog was okay, of course, but my car started to run down the ramp with the boat on top of the roof, and it sailed off into the sea, and I watched it sink. Glub, 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 glub. It was a Cortina estate, and it was a write-off. The insurance paid me the value of the car, whatever it was, I don't remember, not very much. The boat was safe. That's all I can remember. So I had a little bit of experiences with water, with seawater. But now I'll come back now to Whitstable. I mentioned Billy DOTT. Also, excuse me, take a drink of water. About navigation, I took navigation very seriously. I knew the effect upon the tides on the navigation. If you have to know the time and the time of the tide, because if you're sailing from A to B, it's no good steering in a straight line because the water's moving, either left or right. Also, it depends on the wind direction as well. Once again, you will not be going in a straight line. So you have to, there is a correct term for this, that you have to allow for the difference between what is the correct line and what line you should steer. And when this really came home to me was when I was fishing a couple of miles out near the Whitstable Street Buoy, not so far away, and the fog came down where I couldn't see more, the fog came down where I couldn't see more than about 20 metres. I had a fishing party with me. I think they were all a bit concerned, and I made my calculations. I knew where I was also from the echo sound, which told me my depth. It told me what kind of seabed, whether it was mud, shingle, or sand. And with charts and by steering a correct course, allowing for time and tide, I was heartily relieved and satisfied and very, very pleased when I saw the harbour lights dead ahead. And when the guys on the boat saw the harbour light, they let out a cheer and said, "Well done, skipper." So that was a good moment for me to know that my calculations of navigation were absolutely spot on. It was a nice moment. It really was a nice moment. Right. That's all for now. That's a bit of background, and thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Take care of one another. Be kind. Bye.